Okay, today we are going to study about the international trade, why the countries will specialize in the product which they want to sell to other countries. Clear? So there are two theories related to national specialization of a country. One is called absolute advantage theory, another is called comparative advantage theory. So first of all, we are going to study what is meant by absolute advantage theory. So it tells us what is the meaning of absolute. Absolute means complete. What do we mean by absolute? That means complete. When a country has complete advantage in the production of a good than another country, that is called absolute advantage. I would rather say when a country can produce more of a good, more output of a good by employing same resources than another country, it will have absolute advantage in its production. Absolute advantage in that product. Clear? Now I take the example. For example, there are two countries which are having the same type of factors of production. The resources are similar to each other. Country X and country Y, they are producing two things, rice and coffee. So this country is able to produce 100 tons of rice or 40 tons of coffee. What do you mean? If it employs all of its resources in the production of rice, how much rice it is able to produce? 100 tons. Or all the resources when they are employed to the production of coffee, so there is going to be 40 tons of coffee produced. Country Y can produce 40 tons of rice or 100 tons of coffee. Clear? So by looking at this data, we can say country X has absolute advantage in the production of rice, whereas country Y has absolute advantage in the production of coffee. So they will specialize in the area of their absolute advantage. In which they are going to specialize? Okay. In the area of their absolute advantage. I am going to draw their opportunity cost curves or production possibility curves. Clear? You might be knowing there are different shapes of PPC. Like one is increasing opportunity cost, another is constant opportunity cost or decreasing opportunity cost. Right now I am going to use constant opportunity cost curve or PPC with constant opportunity cost. Here I am taking 40 tons of coffee or 100 tons of rice. This is what? This is country X PPC of country X, where all the resources when they are employed on the production of rice, how much rice it is able to produce? 100 tons. Or when all the resources are employed in the production of coffee, only 40 tons of coffee are produced. Now on the other hand, we find another PPC, like this is the 40 tons of rice or 100 tons of coffee. This is Y's PPC. This is what? Y's PPC. Can we clearly see? Can we clearly see this PPC is showing us this country is better, or country X is having absolute advantage in the production of rice, whereas country Y will have specialized absolute advantage in the production of coffee. Now what will happen? As a result, what is going to happen? We see the countries, they will stop producing those goods in which they have absolute disadvantage. What is having? They are going to stop producing this thing, and when they are going to concentrate on the production of their absolute advantage area, what happens? The production of rice will increase to, you can say, 250 tons and 250 tons of coffee. Now after specialization, they are able to produce more output of those goods. Clear? So when they have specialization in the area of their absolute advantage, whatever the surplus value is there, that will be traded with other countries. Now in this case, country X will export. Country X will export what? Rice to country Y, and in return it is able to buy coffee from country Y, because that is the export or specialization area of other country. Follow my point or not? So this is absolute advantage theory, in which a country will specialize according to the area in which a country is having more production of a good by employing the same number of resources, same factors of production are employed, and if more output is produced by the same factors of production than another country, then we say this country is enjoying absolute advantage, and if we find the other way around, then there will be more absolute disadvantage. Like in other product, that country is facing absolute disadvantage. So a country will specialize according to the area of absolute advantage. Now the question is, other theory I am going to explain now. What is the other theory? That is the comparative advantage. What do you mean by comparative advantage? Do you know? For example, absolute advantage theory was saying that if a country can produce more than another, okay, but sometimes it happens that one country is having absolute advantage in both the goods. So do you think that country should not specialize, or it should not be trading with other country because it is self-sufficient according to absolute advantage? But the person who advocated this theory, his name was David Ricardo. The first theory was given by Adam Smith. Absolute advantage theory was given by Adam Smith, and his follower David Ricardo challenged the absolute advantage theory, that sometime a country has absolute advantage in both the goods, but still both the countries are trading not on the basis of their absolute advantage, but on the basis of comparative advantage. What do you mean by comparative advantage? What do you mean by comparative advantage? If a country has lower opportunity cost to produce a good than another country, so it will have comparative advantage in that product. Comparative advantage in that product. Now I'm going to explain it by using the values. Like again we are having two countries, country X and country Y. There is rice production and coffee. So country X is able to produce 250 tons of rice or 500 tons of coffee, or the country Y is able to produce 100 tons of rice or 400 tons of coffee. Now if you look at the values, country X is having absolute advantage in both the goods, whereas country Y has absolute disadvantage in both the goods. So according to the previous theory, this country X is self-sufficient, it does not need any trade with country Y. Now David Ricardo said, still countries will trade, not on the basis of absolute advantage, but on the basis of comparative advantage. Now see over here, I am writing country X, country Y. What is their ratios? I am going to find the opportunity cost. Here the ratio is 1 into 2 and here ratio is 1 into 4. What do you mean by this thing? If country X gives up 1 ton of rice, it is able to produce 2 tons of coffee. It is 2 times better in the production of coffee. But on the other hand, we see country Y, if it gives up 1 ton of rice, it is able to produce 4 tons of coffee. This country Y is 4 times better in the production of coffee. Follow? If we find the opportunity cost ratio, like change in rice due to change in coffee, so change in rice means 1 ton of rice over 2 tons of coffee. Okay? In order to get 1 ton of coffee, this country X has to give up half ton of rice. Am I right? Half ton of rice is given up to produce 1 ton of coffee in country X. And if we find over here, this is 1 over 4. 1 over 4 means 0.25 and here we need 0.5 to get 1 ton of coffee. Please pay attention. Look here. To get 1 ton of coffee, country X has opportunity cost of 5.5 tons of rice. Whereas country Y has to give up only 0.25 tons of rice to get same 1 ton of coffee. So in which country the opportunity cost of producing coffee is the lowest? In country Y, because it has to give up less of rice than country X. Okay? So comparatively country Y is having comparative advantage in the production of coffee. And other way around, you can see if country Y gives up 4 tons of coffee, it is able to produce 1 ton of rice. Whereas if country X 2 tons of coffee are given up to produce 1 ton of rice. So in case of rice, which country is having lower opportunity cost? That is country X. So country X will specialize in the production of rice because it has lower opportunity cost, whereas country Y will specialize in the production of coffee because it has lower opportunity cost to produce coffee. Clear? So according to their opportunity cost ratios, comparative advantage of the countries will be decided and they will specialize. They will specialize in the production of those goods in which they have comparative advantage. Okay? Even though country X is having absolute advantage in both the goods, but comparatively country Y is better in the production of coffee than country X. Clear? Now if I draw rice are 250. This is what? 250 tons of rice or 500 tons of coffee. Clear? Now if we find over here, this is 100 and this is 400. You can find that their opportunity costs, their gradients are different from each other. Clear? So here the ratio is 4 into 1 and here the ratio is 1 into 2. 2 into 1. Clear? So if we find their gradients are different, their opportunity costs are different from each other, so they have the comparative advantage in one of the two. Okay? So they will specialize not on the basis of absolute advantage but on the basis of comparative advantage. So what happens after specialization? Now this country will stop producing the goods in which it has comparative disadvantage and their production will increase. And here we can say it is going to be 800. So after specialization, what happens? Their production of the two goods will increase and they will trade with each other. They will trade with each other and both countries will benefit. So if their opportunity cost ratios are same one, for example I say this is 250 and 500 and here I find 100 and 200. So their ratios are same. When their opportunity cost ratios are same, their comparative advantages cannot be defined. They will not trade with each other. They will only specialize and trade if there is a difference in their opportunity cost ratios. If there is no difference between their opportunity cost ratios, they will not trade with each other. Here, that's about the two theories we have covered today, and tomorrow onward we will be doing the rest of the things.